Yesterday, we learned exactly how ChatGPT and large language models work. And the training task is surprisingly simple. Predict the next word at a massive, massive scale. But that raises one question that almost nobody asks.
Where in the world do those hundreds of billions of training sentences actually come from? Well, today, we pull back the curtain. This is episode 7, and we're talking about training data, the invisible fuel that makes all of AI work.
All right, so the best way to really get your head around training data is with an idea you already know. A really powerful, really simple analogy.
We've all heard the saying, you are what you eat, right? You eat healthy, nutritious food, you grow up strong. Well, it is exactly the same for AI. A model is shaped completely by its training data. Its knowledge, its skills, even its personality. It all comes directly from the information it eats.
So if data is the food, what exactly is on the menu for a big model like ChatGPT? Well, let's just say the kitchen is basically the entire digital world.
Okay, so the main course is this gigantic project called Common Crawl. Just think of it as a snapshot of the entire public internet. To that, you add all of Wikipedia for that hard, factual knowledge. Then you mix in millions of digitized books for storytelling and depth, a ton of academic papers for scientific reasoning, and huge, huge amounts of code from places like GitHub to teach it how to program.
And to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about, the training data for GPT-3 alone was 570 gigabytes of pure compressed text. That's hundreds and hundreds of billions of words. This isn't just a meal, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet the size of a planet.
But here's the thing. Feeding an AI isn't as simple as just dumping all that raw data into it. A lot of that food, it needs to be prepared first. And that preparation is done by millions of unseen human hands.
This whole process is called data annotation. Think of it like this. To teach an AI what a cat is, a human has to show it thousands of pictures and manually label each one cat. For language, people might rank different AI responses to teach the model what a good or helpful answer actually looks like. They're basically creating the flashcards for the AI to study from.
And this, right here, is where India becomes a global powerhouse in the AI story. Thousands upon thousands of skilled data annotators right here in our country are doing this essential, meticulous work. Their effort is a massive and, frankly, often unappreciated contribution to the entire global AI economy.
Now, this brings us to a really fascinating, kind of counterintuitive idea. You'd think that to build a better AI, you just need more and more and more data, right? Well, turns out it's not that simple.
Researchers have found something crucial. Quality is way more important than sheer quantity. A model that's trained on a smaller but carefully curated high-quality dataset can actually perform better than a model trained on a massive dataset that's full of junk, spam, and garbage. I mean, it's better to eat one nutritious meal than 100 plates of junk food, right?
And this focus on quality data brings us to one of the biggest challenges, but also one of the biggest opportunities for India in this new age of AI.
Just look at this. It's pretty shocking. The vast majority of all AI training data, something like 90%, is in English. Our languages, Hindi, Tamil, Bengali, they barely even make a dent. This is the fundamental reason why AI tools often work so poorly in our native languages. The AI just hasn't eaten enough of our words to understand us properly.
But this gap, this is also a massive opportunity. Indian researchers and companies who focus on building these high-quality data sets in our own languages, they're going to have a huge advantage. Incredible projects like AI 4-Bharat at IIT Madras are already leading this charge, creating the very data that will power the next generation of AI for India.
Okay, before we close out, there's one more thing you need to know about training data. Because if an AI really is what it eats, what happens if someone poisons the food?
This is a very real security threat, and it's called data poisoning. It's when a bad actor intentionally slips malicious or biased information into a data set, trying to corrupt the AI from the inside out. It's a constant battle for developers to keep their data clean and safe.
So let's bring it all together. Data shapes everything about an AI model. Its knowledge, its beliefs, its behavior.
So here's the scary question. What happens when that data contains all of our human biases, the racism, the sexism, the cultural stereotypes that have been baked into our writing for centuries?
Tomorrow in episode 8, we confront AI bias, and some examples in that episode will genuinely shock you. Do not miss it. I'll see you in episode 8.